Kawhi is not going to be a Toronto Raptor yet, because Shams just reported that this deal to send Kawhi from the Clippers to the Raptors is on hold until the league figures out this whole aspirations scandal.
That the teams will not be moving forward unless the Raptors assume the risk of potential outcomes that come from that investigation.
Which I think could sneakily be a massive, massive blessing in disguise for the Toronto Raptors. But before that, a quick synopsis of this aspiration scandal if you somehow haven't heard about it. Kawhi had taken a $48 million endorsement deal from this company called Aspiration that had been funded by Clippers owner Steve Ballmer.
According to the reporting, we have now shown how Steve Ballmer invested $50 million into Aspiration.
And this was a fake endorsement deal because Kawhi had never said anything publicly or done anything publicly for Aspiration. And there was even a whistleblower within the company that said that these funds from Steve Ballmer were being used to pay Kawhi. The writing was really just on the wall here. It seemed like both parties were probably guilty. But then this trade breaks, Kawhi gets sent to the Raptors, and rumor starts to spread around that Kawhi might actually get off with any real punishment. He's gonna leave all the Clipper stuff behind him. He's gonna go to Canada, flee the country, and get off relatively scot-free. Shams even reported last week that Kawhi is under new representation when he's negotiating this contract extension with the Raptors, which is a huge deal because his last agent was Uncle Dennis, who is his real blood uncle, who was also the one, according to the initial Pablo Torre investigation, that negotiated that sketchy deal with the Clippers. It really seems like Kawhi is just trying to leave all this aspiration stuff behind him and aspire for a championship with the Raptors.
Starting with that guy right there, you get him to that point, your championship is the only aspiration.
But then this news breaks that the trade isn't actually going to go through until all of this aspiration stuff has concluded, or if the Raptors were to assume any risk with taking on Kawhi, which it doesn't seem like they're going to do, and it wouldn't make sense for them to do regardless. Now, if we want to see what this punishment might actually look like, we can look back to 1999 when the Timberwolves and Joe Smith got in trouble for cap circumvention.
Warriors select Joe Smith from the University of Maryland.
The league voided Joe's contract and took 5 first-round picks away from the Timberwolves. 5 is insane. That's like a Paul George type of package, but they did end up giving them 2 of those picks back. So they really did only take away 3 picks from the Timberwolves. The Clippers were supposed to, or I guess are still supposed to get 2 first-round picks from the Raptors. Now maybe they're planning on using these draft picks to cash them in as an apology to Mr. Silver. They're using them to pay for their punishments, but doing this before Kawhi's contract gets voided so they can actually get something from that contract, even if they're things that are going to get used to pay for their punishments. Now, these draft picks were taken away from the Timberwolves back in 1999 when David Stern was the commissioner, who notoriously is way stricter than Adam Silver.
Tell us all about Kim K and the NBA and this Skims collaboration.
Although I'm not going to show you, I'm wearing them right now.
No way.
But Adam Silver does not play at all about the salary cap, so I can see him being very strict and having similar punishments here. Now, while this might have just crushed the very few hopes and dreams that the Clippers have, this might be a massive blessing in disguise for the Toronto Raptors. Kawhi is having one of his healthiest seasons of all time. He is averaging the most points per game he has ever averaged on insane efficiency. He made second team All-NBA and he even had an MVP vote. So regardless, he is about to change the lives of the Toronto Raptors. Pairing him with Scottie Barnes is about to be like Jordan and Pippen.
If you had to pick one NBA player to be a teammate with, who would it be and why?
I'll say it'll be Kawhi Leonard because of the defensive presence that he can bring. I feel like and I like to play defense, so we'll just carry over.
But the interesting part that might make this even better for the Raptors is that if everything is squared away with Aspiration, it's all kosher, and you get him for the initial agreed upon deal of 2 first-round picks, a first-round pick swap, Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram in 2 seconds, you get Kawhi Leonard. But if everything isn't kosher, if those meats and cheeses are definitely touching, which they definitely are with the Aspiration scandal, then Kawhi's contract might be voided, and you might be able to sign Kawhi as an unrestricted free agent without losing any of that draft capital or any of those players. You get to completely take LA out of consideration when making this deal. Granted, you would probably have to still trade Brandon Ingram and maybe attach a pick to that to get off that salary to make the money match and be able to actually bring Kawhi in, because we don't want to circumvent the salary cap again. But let's say you do that. Let's say you trade a pick away, you trade Brandon Ingram so you can get off that money and you can sign Kawhi as a free agent. You still keep a first-round pick, a first-round pick swap, 2 seconds, dick. That would be a massive amount of assets and capital to keep, because Kawhi has made it very clear that he wants to come back to the Raptors. So you're either going to get him from the Clippers or you're going to get him in unrestricted free agency once that contract is voided. And if that contract is voided, you're able to get him in free agency and you're able to keep all of those assets, maybe move some of them to improve your center rotation somehow. The Raptors are real deal contenders in the East. Given how cursed the Clippers are as a franchise, I damn near expect this to happen. It's been an absurd offseason and things are continuing to get more and more absurd. So subscribe to stay updated on what's happening in the NBA. I know we got a whole new set now. I just moved. It's a work in progress, but I got to keep videos coming out for y'all. So I will see you all very soon, and I hope you all are having a great day. Kawhi is not going to be a rapper.